Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway as we are ready to go here to fire things up for Supernationals 26. Treating you with a bit of a pre-show to start off the day. Of course, morning warm-ups, getting everybody clear the cobwebs out after an evening at the tables in Las Vegas here. But it is time to get busy. It is Super Sunday, Christmas Day for karters here in North America. My name is Rob Howden, joined, of course, as I have been throughout the week, by Henry Beaudette and Mike Smith up here in the booth. And guys, it's time. It's here. 4 days of action. It's Super Sunday.
Yep, can't wait to see what Father Christmas has brought for us as presents in terms of action. And there's the sound we've all been waiting for. Karts on circuit.
Getting things underway, of course, with the drivers here in the KA100 junior category. Indeed, drivers rolling out 2 warm-up laps before we go racing around this 9-turn circuit. Time to get things underway. Again, KA100 Junior. Our next up will be KA100 Senior, then KA100, or rather Master, then Senior. So we'll start all off with KA. Then we'll go Micro Mini Swift, X30 Junior, Master Shifter. We'll cap it all off with the Pro categories, Pro X30 and Pro Shifter. Let's have a chance if we can to look at the lineup here right now. The drivers set to go. One exciting field of drivers. Everybody digging, as we said, over the last 4 days to line themselves up to go for the biggest prize in North American karting, a Supernationals win. Turner Brown will start on the pole position for Speed Concepts Racing, number 868, alongside Sebastian Garzon for Orsalon Racing. Row 2, Enzo Vidmontien has been excluded from the event. Unsure what happened there, but he will not take the start. Inside or outside of that row, starting in the 4th spot, Charlie Smith in the 812.
The driver that capitalises on Vidmontien's exclusion is going to be the 5th place starter, Keegan Kaminski. He'll share what will be the 3rd row with Oliver Weldon. Isaac Malcute and Nix Eggleston going from row number 4.
Yeah, further back it goes, going off the grid here. John Antonino and Diego Ardiles will be on the outside of or on row number 5. Then over to row number 6, Christian Meyer on the inside, and on the outside, Javier Herrera for Orsalon Racing.
Row number 7, Stephen Miller and Mason Walters, Casey Moyer and Ty Fisher go from row number 8.
Tail the field here, but tail the first 20 rather. Diego Guio from RPM alongside Walter Jenkins, the 4th in the RPG entry. Beckett Friesen and Christopher Wakefield on row number 10.
That's your top 20 on what is a 40-plus kart starting grid. Row number 11 will see Jackson Walney and Salvador Della Vecchia with Alex Mercado. Watch for the number 887, he's fast, and he'll share row 12 with Alexander Jacobi.
I agree that Mercado could be a driver to watch. Peyton Westcott as well, alongside Chase Busackley on row number 13. Christian Cameron and Ian Kim will occupy row 14.
The top 30 are rounded out by Alexander Gonzalez, Jackson Gibson, Jensen Burnett, and the rest. They're coming to the line.
Here we go for the first time here on Super Sunday. It's time to go racing. 9 events for you on this fantastic, beautiful blue sky day in Las Vegas. Set to go. Brown on the inside, Garzon on the outside, and we are green, green, green. Into turn number 1. Turner Brown to the bottom. On the outside goes the 850 of Garzon. Couple of drivers backwards coming into turn 1, but out of turn number 2 for the first time. The attack is coming. They'll work their way down into the corner. These are the 2 back-to-back hairpins, turn 3 and turn 4. Big wide run. Great start for Garzon out of the gate. He'll take the lead. Brown slotting in, but again, not surprising further back outside the top 6 or 7. The big attack we've expected, drivers trying to get themselves into the top 10.
Salvador Della Vecchia was a driver that was going backwards into turn number 1, and sadly Truly Adams, the 848 car, had nowhere to go, had to go into the outside. But everybody else now filing in single file. The 2 leaders, there's the Orsalon Racing car of Garzon and Kaminski. He said he was going to be in good shape. Oh no, there's 3 cars, the 862, the 820 and the 873. The 820, that's Levi Sanguera, the London-based driver, and I'm looking back there, it was certainly one of the comp kart drivers also involved.
I think one of the ruthless karting drivers potentially involved there as well. Your early leaders, here we go. Garzon, Kaminski, Brown, Smith, and Weldon. Great start for Keegan Kaminski, able to work his way up to P2. Weldon into the 5th spot. Diego Ardiles as in the 6th. Isaac Malkin in 7th. Nick Eggleston, and then Christian Meyer and Javier Herrera round out your early top 10. We talked about this in the pre-show. What were the opening laps going to be like? What kind of chaos was a potential breakaway? We'll see how things play out over the next couple of laps.
Well, there's a move for 5th position. The 897 of Diego Ardiles is moving up to the field. This is a 20-lap race.
Just had an incident over in the turn number 9. Let's have a look at that again, a replay of the driver settling in here. Mike, Smith will bring you in to detail what we saw in the final corner.
Those are the front 5 drivers, 6, 7 drivers going through there, so they got through there cleanly. It actually happened mid-pack. Maybe a little bit of accordion. The 862, that comp car driver, actually, he slid sideways and stopped. Other 2 drivers had nowhere to go.
I think somebody got into the 862 and kind of looped him around. Yeah, that was Archer Eversman. Okay, so he went around. That was the comp car for Forward Direction Motorsports. He went around, got a little help. And again, Mike, there's really nowhere to go. When you're coming in, you've already committed to the apex. You've already rolled in there. You're going nowhere.
Not only that, that bump that comes through there, too, if you want to try to make a quick change or move in direction with your either left foot or the steering wheel, that might not be able to get done with that bump.
So again, setting things up right now, we have a 3-driver breakaway. Sebastian Garzone, Keegan Kaminsky, and Turner Brown. Brown went purple last time by, they've got a full second now on Oliver Weldon in that LN kart machine. So Weldon P4, Isaac Malkin back another second. We're seeing these guys race up front. We talked about this. Would we see the maturity, the patience to be able to pull away? These top 3 drivers, Kaminsky's gone to the lead, but Mike, if they work together, this, because I think the Weldon's by himself, if they work together, this is said and done for 3 drivers up front.
Do you want to lead lap 4 or do you want to win the Supernationals? They will. If Keegan makes the move to the lead, immediately blocks in turn 3. It's like, that's not how you're going to run away with things. Now, here we go. Open it up. Now, if we can just stay nice, these 3 drivers could just run away and have a 3-way fight at the end.
We saw a couple of guys say that yesterday, Henry, where the guy at the second was like just pointing, don't worry, I'm not going to take you, I'm not going to pass you, just go. And that's what these 3 drivers need to do.
Yeah, Garzon and Brown were both close enough to make the move going into turn number 9. They didn't. Same again in turn number 1, although Kaminsky missing the apex, running a little bit wide, that's going to slow them down. Garzon could have his hand forced. He'll be looking over his shoulder to see where Oliver Weldon is, and Weldon at the moment is 1.2 seconds back.
I'll say this though, Turner Brown, of any driver, has shown a lot of patience here throughout the weekend. He's there P3. He knows he is where he needs to be right now. This is super early in a 20-lap race. If he's P3 and pulling away, he's the guy that can look over his shoulder and see how much gap that front group has.
That being said, you're not going to be very patient if the drivers in front of you keep making mistakes.
For that, yeah, indeed. If you're making mistakes, someone's got to go. Right now, the top 3 drivers lining up. Kaminsky, Garzone just went purple. Brown in that 3rd spot, 1.4 now. Indeed, the gap for the front-running trio is extending. 1.4, Weldon, 1.2 back to Nick Eggleston. And then we've got Charlie Smith, Isaac Malkin, who dropped a couple of spots, Christian Meyer, Diego Diaz, and Diego Guillo is up 7 positions, 7th into the top 10 for Guillo.
Already, but again now, as you can see, apart from there's the 5th place battle, there goes the ruthless karting entry of Nick Eggleston, the head of this group, then a whole gaggle of trouble. Smith, Malkut, Meyer, Ardiles, Herrera's in there, so's Brody Yendel and Stephen Miller. There's 2 drivers we expect to feature, only running 11th and 12th, but we're only just at 1/4 distance.
Yeah, but it's that gap up front, 1.7 seconds now. The leaders are there. I picked Stephen Miller to be the guy that would come in here and win this race. He really hasn't had the outright pace he's needed to be a big factor up front. Keegan Kaminsky, though, for GFC. Gary Carlton, of course, just getting inducted into the Superkarts USA Hall of Fame. All the work he did as a driver, a factory driver, 2 times a winner here in KZ at the Supernats, but now he's become this industry player. The GFC chassis is eponymous brand up front right now.
And look at the battling. They're allowing Eggleston to escape in 5th position. Malkut, Smith, Ardiles, Guillo, Herrera, Meyer and Miller chopping and changing. They're falling away. Great to watch, bad for their chances.
And remember, here at the Supernats, the podium is the top 5 drivers. So Eggleston right now, the last person on the podium, and Malkin and company are letting them go.
So indeed, just so you say this, when they do come around at the end of the race, we'll kind of give you an update. I believe I talked to Neil Strickland. We're going to bring the section of top 10 drivers through up to this first corner to check pushback bumpers. If there is a pushback bumper, we'll do the best we can to potentially have the most correct podium we possibly can. New leader right now.
Garzone goes to the front here in turn number 1. Maybe that little bit of a miss of the apex we saw to Keegan a couple of times. Keegan taking a little bit of a different line there in turn number 1.
Do you also take an opportunity midway through the race here? We're at lap number 7, still 13 laps to go. But every driver's going to want that one shot up front. Because again, let's talk about this. You have a 3-driver breakaway, but when you have a 3-driver breakaway, what is the job of 1st and 2nd? Drop the last guy on the peloton. Do whatever you can to get rid of that guy in 3rd to make it a 2-driver battle. So everybody wants to take that shot up front to see if they're the one with the pace to be able to pull away.
The tactic the top 3 had was working. Weldon, he was 1.2 seconds down, now he's 2.4 seconds down, and Kaminsky was smart. It so often is the case, a big event, you've just been past the lead, the initial reaction is to get back in front. Kaminsky went, no, he was smart and mature enough to say, we'll play the waiting game.
So let's have a look at that pass. We've watched Sebastian Garzon make the move to the inside of Keegan Kaminsky. Let's watch that right now, Mike.
Pretty straightforward deal here going down into turn number 1. You can see them all line astern as they go into turn number 1. Just move slightly to the inside. Keegan does not fight too hard. Slide job there a little bit. Puts right in there. Now turn number 2. Look at Brown. Not fight. He moves over left. Let it go. And there it is, Garzon. Let's go forward.
And listen, even though he didn't really get to the apex, it was a beautiful entry pass, but at that corner, turn number 1, you can run wide and kind of conserve that speed and then race him over to turn 2.
Exactly that. You can go in deeper than you would normally, and you've got room to work on the outside where the other driver can't count.
Sadly, truly, Adams has had to retire, I believe. We've still got 39 drivers running down towards the back of the field there. Tia Della Vecchia, he's recovered to 29th position, just Mike Gonzalez, Kim, Jackson Rowley, Alexander Bonchev in 25th, Moya, Shea Aldrich is 23rd, Peyton Westcott up into 21st position, but they're all falling there. Half a minute now between Alex Mercado, another driver we said was going to feature. I think he's out of the race, as is Sankera and Gibson.
Tough for both of those drivers.
Halfway through this thing, and that is 10 laps. That's as long as the heat race is. Everything from here, outside of what Friday with the long session, this is going to be uncharted territory.
Back-to-back passes in turn number 1. First, Kaminsky making a move, and there it is right there. That's the point forward. Garzon's like, you took me, but let's go. Same goes for Nick Eggleston. He reeled in Oliver Weldon. Eggleston put the ruthless karting machine to the inside. He takes over P4. We'll see whether or not they can potentially line up to go to work. The other driver to watch right now is Diego Ardiles. He started 9th. He's up 6 spots. Fastest driver on the racetrack, 4.1 seconds behind the leaders, was quicker by them by almost a full second. Last lap, some issues here coming out at turn number 4.
Yeah, on the outside there, Kaminsky got passed by Garzon, and Turner Brown went for the move on lap number 12 out of 20, and a back end off the ground there for Keegan Kaminsky, and look at that, one little bit of contact, guys, and Garzon, the All-Southern Racing driver, has suddenly got a huge lead, and despite this battling, they're still managing to pull away from Weldon, who's got Eggleston now right behind him with Ardiles.
Yeah, we're definitely going to want to see a replay of the contact that we had there, but again, that has shooken things up top a little bit. Sebastian Garzon with that gap, 0.7 of a second, but watch for Brown and Kaminsky to reel him back in. Let's have another look at the incident that we had there down in turn number 9.
See, Keegan Kaminsky's got it going in. Garzon goes to the inside. He's got it a little bit later there, but here's what it gets interesting, is where Brown tries to follow him through, and Keegan doesn't quite know. Look, though, Keegan points. It's all right, let's keep rolling. He knows it's still early days.
It looked to me like Brown was getting into the corner, had a little mid-corner understeer, kind of pushed off and had to recorrect, and that's why he got into the left rear. But here they are back up at it again. Brown takes the lead, but Kaminsky's going to try to get in there as well. So Garzon, who had a big lead, goes back to 3rd. Oh, this thing's about to heat up. We just went past that halfway point, 12 laps down, 8 to go, and as Mike said, now we're into uncharted waters, right? We don't know how these karts are going to handle. Who went super low on tire pressure? Like you talked about this, who's going to have the best car over the last 5 laps?
Brown hung out the entire first half of the race in 3rd place, just letting the other 2 guys do their thing. Maybe having those lower air pressures, you're like, just let this thing come to me, boys, and now do leaders.
That's one thing to bring. At the start of these races, we don't talk much about that, but at the start of the race, the cart's not going to be very good, right? You're low on tire pressure. It's not going to be the way it's going to be over the last 5 laps. And if Turner Brown and he just sat back there and waited for those Vincos to come up to the optimum temperature and pressure, he could be a driver to watch right now. Garzon throws it to the inside, book it, he'll go to P2.
And they've got a new chaser in 4th position. Diego Ardiles has passed Oliver Weldon. Weldon slipped back to 7th. It's Ardiles, Eggleston, Guillo and Weldon, the next chasing group. They were 3.8 seconds behind the lead trio. Now they're 3.2. Weldon having to fight. It looks like Ardiles and Eggleston are broken clear as Guillo passes Weldon and Malcoop. But that move there from Kaminsky, from Garzon, it's given Turner Brown a little bit of an advantage. They're going to work together now to close back in on the leader.
Most of these passes haven't really cost them a ton of time, like something like that could. They're a little bit further back, and as long as they keep that up, that 3.5 second advantage they have, or 3 seconds for Kaminsky, it's going to be all right. But if they start getting hot and heavy and start doing it, say, in 5 and 6 in slower corners, it's really going to start to hurt them.
Working lap 15 right now. Again, the leader up front is Brown. Garzone in second, Kaminsky third, 3.4 seconds. He sent back to that next driver, and that is Diego Ardiles on the RPG Cosmic, able to work his way by Nick Eggleston. So we'll continue to look at lap times there to see if Ardiles has the pace to potentially reel in these leaders. Otherwise, the drivers up front right now in a mono battle. 3 drivers fighting it out for the race win here to kick off 9 main events on Super Sunday here at the 26th running of the Supernationals. This is exactly what we like. This is the kind of thing I always say you only need 2 go-karts to have a race. 3 is nice. I know some great stuff happening in the back, but the drivers up front are putting on a show. Brown leads them into turn 1.
And how many times have we seen third party rule? The top 2 guys start to go defense in the final lap, and the third driver in line takes 2 for 1.
And the over-unders happen a lot at this racetrack where you're defending to the inside.
Well, Turner Brown is a fine exponent of that. They're going over-under on 5 drivers in the last corner of one of the heat races yesterday. But when the 3 drivers that you're watching on the screen now, they run line as third, they're about 0.2 of a second a lap quicker than Ardiles and Eggleston. However, on this lap, both Ardiles and Eggleston look quick, and if they're going to need, though, as we start lap number 17 now shortly, Rob, they're going to need the 3 drivers in front to battle, and Ardiles and Eggleston, the temptation to take 4th place is going to have to be resisted, because they, just in case, you never know.
Yeah, indeed that. Eggleston needs to work with Ardiles as much as he can. Now, this is the opportunity where you start figuring where you need to be. You want to be the leader. You want to be in second right now. Kaminsky's thinking, hey, listen, third might not be where I need to be. I'm going to have to take a pass here pretty soon, so things are about to shake things up as we'll have just 3 laps to go next time by.
It'll be interesting to see the next couple of times as Keaton goes through some of these hairpins. It looks like he's having a little bit harder time keeping the cart down to the inside and having a tighter arc. He lost a little bit of time through turn number 1 going into 2.
I like this from Keegan Kaminsky, I've got to say. He's staying 2 to 3 kart lengths off the rear bumper of Garzone and Brown so he can react.
Here they come down the straightaway once again. These laps are winding down, as we said. They'll see the 2 to go sign next time by. Turner Brown looks very comfortable up front, as Michael had said before. They kind of just hung around. He was right there, P3. Mike didn't really push the issue that much early on, waiting for those tires to come up to temp. That's where they are right now. The kart's about as good as it's going to be over these final couple of laps. This is a tremendous battle for the first race win. Brown, Garzone, and Kaminsky. A couple of West Coasters here in Brown and Kaminsky. Brown on the Speed Concepts Racing Machine. Garzone for Orsolon Racing. Kaminsky for GFC. This is the scrap. Coming down again, 2 to go this next time by. Who's in the right spot? Kaminsky's right there in third. Will he make a move? Here they come. Aaron Likens gives it the 2 to go.
2 West Coasters, 1 Colombian, and Colombian Garzone looks to the inside. The gap is 4 seconds, provided there's no argy-bargy. These are your top 3. Garzone the lead, Kaminsky follows him through. They both run wide. Here comes Turner Brown round the outside, but he's going to get squeezed. Garzone and Kaminsky going to have the inside line for the run into 3.
Garzone now your new leader. Here's an over-under end for Brown. Watch him try to get him coming out of turn number 4. Not quite enough forward bite to make a move. Thinks about the inside, turn 5, checks back in. Garzone now the leader. They'll see the white flag this next time by. It is almost done here for KA100 Jr. A barn burner to start off Super Sunday. Keegan Kaminsky got to second. That's where he knew he wanted to be. Brown does the over-under. What kind of a run does he have out of the corner? Not quite enough. White flag in the hands of our starter, Aaron Likens. This is it. The double checker will be out next. Garzone, your leader for Orsolon Racing. Kaminsky's right on the rear bumper. Does he look to the inside and 1? He'll cover him off. Here goes Kaminsky. Down to the bottom. Contact. They're way wide. Turner Brown's going to beat him over to turn 2. Kaminsky on the inside. Brown on the outside. Final lap here. Garzone going to look to the inside. He'll go side by side. Brown's going to come through. Down to the inside comes Garzone. What a great battle here on the final circuit. Kaminsky runs him wide. Garzone the leader, thinking about the side by side. Back through 5 and 6. This is it. Down over to turn number 9. The first race. Lining up to see. Oh, yellow flag's flying. You can't pass in that corner. Yellow flags are out. Kaminsky goes under the yellow. He's going to take it across the line, but no, he tries to back up. No, it's going to be Turner Brown, I believe, on the exit. Coming across the line. Turner Brown wins in Las Vegas. Brown wins an over-under. Kaminsky second, Garzone third, Eggleston fourth, Ardiles fifth. You want to say it or you want me to say it?
You know what set that up? Kaminsky going to the inside, making that defense happen, and Brown again doing the outside over in a yellow flag area.
Yeah, pass under the yellow though. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, the thing is that the initial pass was under the yellow from Kaminsky. Brown was
He's through.
He's a rotation over. It should be good.
Yeah.
I love that. And admit the first thing that Kaminsky got up, he went up there and he went to Garzon, put his hands up, went, I'm sorry, I didn't realise. Garzon realised, well, embrace. This is what it's all about, the sportsmanship from these young athletes.
So here's what they're